Hey everyone, it's me, Missy, with Missy's Guidance and Tarot. So I came on here because like how when you wake up, like let's say for example, you get up to go to the bathroom, right? Or get up to get a drink of water or something like that. And then when you go back to sleep, you're still in between dream state and awake, and then you're transitioning back to the dream state. Well, as I was transitioning back to the dream state, the word Nephilim came to me. That's Nephilim, right? So I was looking up the word, what that actually means. And from the Christian Standard Bible website, right? That's csbible.com. They state that Nephilim, which means fallen ones. So basically, let me see if I could. Um, so this text is confusing in the part. So they talk about this in Genesis, in the Bible, Genesis 6, verse 1 through 4, right? Genesis chapter 6, verse 1 through 4, excuse me. And they talk about Nephilims, right? So it says this text is confusing in part because Nephilims, which means fallen angels, are mentioned but not really described here. In Numbers 13, however, they're described as some sort of large people like giants. So Nephilims are part of the giant group, right? Um, I don't really know the logistics on the giants, but from what I've gathered, and this lady that I've been watching, she's been telling, like, teaching us some stuff as well. So she basically said that giants are anywhere from 5'9" and higher. That's why you see people walking around 6+ foot. There's a family that's on YouTube. They're part of the giant group because they register between, like, I think the sister was like 6'9" or something like that. So these people, they're part of the Giants group, right? Um, so it's like giants. To add to confusion, the language about the Son of God procreating with the daughters of men surround the mention of the Nephilims. So is there a connection? Let me see. So they're asking question, is there a connection? Are these verses cobbled together but not related? Let's see, hold on. So Nephilims are offsprings of the Son of God and daughters of men. The idea is that the Son of God referred to angels or fallen angels. So the Son of God, right? These are God's chosen. I guess you would say they were chosen people. Well, it says angels or whatever, but these are descendants of God, right? They, but they've fallen. So it says this term is used for angels in the other places in scriptures, like the beginning of Job, and the daughters of men refer to human women. Self explanatory. Yeah, yeah. So it's like humans walking around the earth. Now, from what I gathered, due to Greek mythology, you had the gods. You had gods, right? They came down and they mated with humans to create demigods. Okay? So, but look more into that. And you can tell that this is not my area of expertise because the way I keep saying and stuff like that, because I am very uncomfortable talking about this because I'm not really, what's the word? I'm not, uh, I don't believe myself to be that knowledgeable. I'm going off of what I'm reading on my phone, and I gave you the website that you should go to. And I also found it in Genesis where they talked about that. So I'm about to go back to that as well. But I just wanted to give you like the background of what the Son of God is and what the daughters of men are. So they had gods, the god bloodline came down to earth, and they mated with humans to create Nephilims. And I hope I'm pronouncing that word right. Yeah, Nephilims. All right. So it says, so the Nephilims then are superhuman offsprings of angels and human. So they're a mixed breed. They're a crossbreed between the angels and humans, right? So they have superpower strength, but at the same token, they are human. So I guess from the way I'm looking at it is that if they are of angels, but remember, it said they're fallen angels. So if they are of angels, so what does the word fallen angel really mean? Does it mean like these people were above, like up there in the angels, and then they fell from the sky? Or does this mean that they fell, they were angelic like beings, but then they fell from grace? So you have to look into that, what that actually means. And 555 on the counter when I said that, right? So it says, so the Nephilims then are superhuman offsprings of angels and humans. The word explains their size and the reverence people have of them. Okay? Proponents of this view will also join to Jude 6, I guess Jude chapter 6, verse 7, or Jude 6 and 7. God has kept certain fallen angels and demons locked away in hell because they committed sexual immoralities and were bound to their boundaries as non humans. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. Let me run that back. I'm sorry. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. I'm uncomfortable talking about this because I don't know why this is even coming to me. Because I'm laying in bed and I'm going between the wake roll and the dream state, and the word Nephilim came up. So I'm like, why the hell is that coming to me? Let me look that up. So let me run it back. So proponents of proponents of this view will also point to Jude 6. So Jude chapter 6 verse 7, if I'm reading that correctly. God has kept certain fallen angels slash demons locked away in hell because they committed sexual immorality and went beyond their boundaries as non-humans. So basically anything you think of, they did it. It's sexual immorality, whether it's having, I don't want to talk about it. Oh my God. Mm, okay, having, so whatever it is, whether it's bestiality, where that exists, where it's like having it's sexual intercourses with animals, to you name it, they did it. I'm just putting that out there, right? Okay. So some people will also couple this with Peter 1. So Peter 1 chapter 3 verse 19, where it may indicate that Jesus proclaimed judgment unto angels who committed this crime between his death and resurrection. So basically anything you've done, according to the Bible, anything you've done since Jesus died, which was over how many thousand years ago, up until his coming, you will be judged for what you did, right? Um, where is it? I lost it. Proclaim judgment on the angels who committed this crime between his death and resurrection. So the Son of God are fallen angels who have sex with human women, creating Nephilims, and were chained up for crossing the boundaries God had given them to roam the earth like they do now before Jesus comes back to destroy them for good. So basically, what this is, the way I'm interpreting this, is what this is saying is that he's literally talking about earth angels. That's what I say maybe he wrote this, I don't know. But what I'm saying is this, well, was a man. So basically what he's saying is there are such thing as earth angels walking around here And people, because society has brainwashed us to not believe this stuff or whatever it is, like, I don't even know how to say this. I am just so uncomfortable talking about this because this is not my area of expertise. All right. I'm just going off of what I'm reading and I'm going off of what I'm feeling. So basically, there are such things as earth angels. An earth angel does not look like what people technically believe an earth angel to look like, because in mainstream representation of an earth angel is like a blonde Caucasian person with wings and like in an all white gown floating around and da 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 and all of that stuff. An earth angel could be like a homeless person on the street. An earth angel could be like a person that has lost all their limbs. An earth angel is not what mainstream media is basically saying an earth angel is. I could be an earth angel. You could be an earth angel. That's what is being said. And one of the ways that you can tell, the way I feel is one of the ways you can tell is how people treat you. They don't understand you, so they mistreat you and they ill treat you and stuff like that, right? Because your light irritates their demons. So there's a lot of earth angels walking around here. Hold on, y'all, because these dogs are. Come on now. I'm trying to talk. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, so an earth angel is not what mainstream media is portraying an earth angel to be. An earth angel could look like anyone. Just because people are walking around with wings and stuff like that, that does not mean that they're not an earth angel. You have to use your discernment. You have to, like, if you go around people and people just all of a sudden they just, I don't know. Again, okay. So let's see. So, like it said, so these earth angels are fallen angels because they committed sexual immoralities, right? And went beyond their boundaries as non humans. So that's the problem. They're fallen angels. They did way more than they should have done because there were specific instructions that was given to them before they came here as to what they were supposed to do. And the fact that they went above and beyond that, now they've fallen and they've created Nephilims. Okay. So, a second possible interpretation is that the Son of God described godly men, perhaps from the line of Seth, one of Adam and Eve's other son. So, basically, the bloodline from when God first created man up until present day, right? Um, Adam and Eve, other children who procreated with sinful and non godly worshiping women. The daughters of men, meaning that they don't belong to God. Oh, damn. Okay. The defense of this is that this story follows right after Cain wandered out of the wilderness, so that the wicked offsprings of Cain started intermingling with the people who still worship God, right? So this is why it also talks about thou shalt not, in the Bible it says, you shall not be unequally yoked with someone who, basically, you shall not be unequally yoked. You have to be with someone that is you should be with someone that believes in God. So if you're a non-believer, if you're a believer and you're commingling with somebody that's a non-believer, that's not good. You shall not be unequally yoked with someone that does not believe the same thing you believe, right? So I guess if you're a non-believer and you're with someone that's non-believer, then you're not unequally yoked because you guys believe the same thing. But if you are a believer and this person don't believe in God, they don't believe in any of that stuff, they believe in nothing. They're almost like an atheist. Not that I'm coming for y'all, so please don't come for me. But an atheist is well known to not believe in a higher power, right? They believe what they believe, and that's cool. but I'm just using that as an example. You should not be a Christian, or you should not believe in a God or believe there is a God and be with somebody that does not believe in God. Okay? Why is this doing this? All right, so let's see. So where it says, Adam and Eve, other children who procreated with sinful / non-godly worshiping women, daughters of men, meaning that they don't belong to God. So basically, who would that be in terms of uh, a woman that's not of God? People who don't believe that there's a God. They do all manner of sexual immoralities, things of that nature, right? The defense of this is that this story follows right after Cain wanders out of the wilderness. I thought I read this already. So that the wicked offspring of Cain started intermingling with people who still worship God. This would help explain verse 3. God was tired of battling with mortals. Then verse 5, which talk about the earth being filled with wicked people, causing God to want to flood the earth. So it's possible that the Nephilims are the people as the Son of God, which would make sense seeing that they're described as heroes of heroes heroes of old, I don't know, which means that they were in the same sense good, at least at one time. So basically, it's basically um, good gone bad. Like, okay, for the example, good girls gone bad type situation. That's what that is, because you've intermingled with somebody that was not of God, and then basically they turned you evil. So good gone bad. Good girls gone bad. Um, for the lack of a better terminology. Finally, some argue that the Nephilims are simply an odd addition here, but don't mean much to the story. So let me see, hold on. It's the Son of God and daughters of men, or we don't know enough about. Okay, so let me see. So, all right, so that's pretty much what I read there. So this was done by Brandon D. Smith, right? Assistant professor of theology and New Testament at Cedarville University. And that's where this article came from. So that's what came up on that. There's other things about the Nephilims too that, but I went straight to the Christian website because I would think they would know more. All right, so let's go to the Bible verse. This is Genesis 6, verse 1 through 4, and I'm gonna let this thing read it for you so that you can hear what it has to say about the Nephilims, right?
Genesis 6. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
So basically, what that part is saying, where it talks about how God repented, where is it? God repented, and it repented the Lord had made, yeah, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved his heart. It grieved him in his heart. So basically, God regret making man, because as he saw, it's like they just became evil and wicked and all of that stuff. So he regret making them. That's what that's talking about.
And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man, and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth.
Okay. So that's pretty much where it talks about the angels commingling with the earthly women, the earth angels coming down and intermingling with the earth women and creating Nephilims. So somebody could be in the bloodline of the Nephilims, right? So they're a fallen angel because they're whoever they were a part of, or whatever their bloodline was, they ended up commingling and doing sexual immorality with humans and basically fell from grace. And I saw 2121 on the counter when I said that. I don't know why this came to me. I don't even know why I needed to look this up, but I felt compelled to research what the hell Nephilims were. There's plenty of other articles out there about them, so feel free in your leisure time to look it up. But I just wanted to come out here and say that it's like, ugh, one, Earth angels don't look like how mainstream media portray Earth angels to look. They could be from a homeless person on the street to a person that has no limbs to whatever. You understand what I mean? It's basically what's inside here. That can, and their belief system and what's inside here makes them an earth angel. That's my belief. And because the fallen angels or the angels came to earth and like procreated with these earthly women, they create Nephilims, so they are the offsprings of the fallen angels. I don't know. I don't know why this is coming to me. I'm very uncomfortable talking about stuff like this because this is just like wow. But anyways, I hope this message resonates with someone. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and you have yourself a great one. Okay, bye.